What's up, Internet? This is Rambling Josh, and you're watching another episode of Let's Play Ogre Battle 64. Today, we finish things off here in Romulus. So let's send Magnus in to take on Zevik. I was thinking of sending in Destin just because Magnus took a little bit of damage on the previous episode, but... Oh, looks like we actually have a enchanter to deal with first. Okay. But yeah, as I was going to say, I figured it's probably worth it to get the extra dialogue to send in Magnus. I think now at this point, with this extra battle, even though it was only one extra hit on Ankaseth, I'm just gonna go with the pause, and then use a heal pack before fighting Zevik. Because, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. Heal packs aren't that expensive. There we go. Why are we fighting outside the castle? Actually, that does make sense, and you will see why in due time. Wait, what? Why does fighting for the Central Division have anything to do with independence from Lotus? Oh, okay. So in other words, you just disfigured that with that ultimate power that you just switch to the what you think is the winning side. I think not. Instead, how about I kill you? I think I like that plan better. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna replace the Noisha's promise. It's really not. It's failing in all the important places. I mean, not that it made a big difference in a place like this, but like in this particular situation. But there are times where it could, and I don't feel that it is sufficient in said times. But nonetheless, we won the battle. What do we get from Zevik? Yay, Ice Blade? What's with all these useless swords we're getting lately? And much like the Temple of Birth, you can see that we are stuck on top of our little red blip. So we have the ability to access or organization screen, and that is what we're going to do. Let's just give the Ice Blade to him, and give Magnus back his Evil Blade. And actually, while we're at it, let's actually give the Evil Spear to Leia. Do I have a better shield for her? I really need to get better bucklers. Not the actual buckler, but the buckler style shield. What else did I get last time? A Cloak of Oath, a Misty Cloak, stuff like that. Misty Cloak, it's the same as the Heat Text. Okay. Can you use it? I guess you might as well. Let's actually just take a look at the item list. That'll tell us better what it's actually used for. Cloak of Oath. It is a robe that gives intellect. So I imagine that is used by priests. Come on, bring up the right menu. Indeed, indeed. However, it is inferior to the bloodstained robe, which doesn't make much sense. I mean, I honestly have no idea why they actually let priests wear the bloodstained robe, but they do. Ooh. That looks nifty. Unfortunately, the Lich cannot unequip the Ring of the Dead, so even if that was better, which, I mean, obviously it is not. Oh, the Feather of Archangel is apparently better. At any rate, we're switching. This Elder Sign seems like a good option for priests. Unless... does my sorceress have one? Yeah, she already has a Feather of Archangel. What about helmets? I know I saw a Celestial Veil. Headgear. Intellect. Use a strike. I mean, it might be better than something. Yeah, I mean, it's better defense, so I might as well. Okay, well, whatever. So, now, well, actually, just because, let's save before we go on. And now, we go back to Romulus. This time we're going to Fort Romulus. Apparently, there's something about those royal dudes going on in here. Now, this mission is interesting in that it's our first proper siege mission. This is why it makes sense for Zevik to have been located outside the actual castle, because now we're fighting the castle proper. You have to go for the fortress gates and destroy them before you can actually go through. Indeed. It's actually not that confusing at all. Siege missions are kind of interesting, and honestly I wish there were more of them, because they come with, like, they're not all that different from... Oh, yeah, you can't use legions. Who cares? But honestly, these siege missions aren't all that much different from a normal mission, but just because of what they are, they come with a certain amount of intensity that I wish there was a little bit more of it throughout the game. Oh yes, there's apparently a time limit. That should not be an issue though. So the idea is basically, first we have to go for, can we actually select it? I guess not. There's a gate here, and a gate here. We can go for one of both of those, and we have to break through. And then there's a little plaza in the middle here where we can rest up, and regenerate health and fatigue, much like a normal stronghold. Although we can't use things like rearranging characters between units and stuff like that. Then there's another gate we have to go through, and then the fort proper. And despite what you might think, there are actually a couple of items to be found on this map. Although honestly, neither of them are anything that I'm really worried about. So I'm probably not going to bother going for them. Well, that's actually not true. There's one item that I might end up using, and it's quite easy to get, so I might as well get it. There's one item about there, at the southern end of this... the west one? Wait, what? Oh no, it's not there at all. Okay, never mind. Ignore me. So first thing I want to do is kind of divvy up my units between the two sides. I want to be careful with who I actually send out, because the whole lack of strongholds means, and there's actually quite a few enemies to actually contend with in these type of missions. So you want to be careful with who you send out. Enemies or units that are very kind of frail, you have to be very careful with. So Yeah, sure. Okay. Send him over here. And finally, we have Bedash. Let's send him over here. Actually, no, let's send him over here. Mylene and Tyler, I'm just going to leave on the stronghold here. And our Aqua, our Seraph, has an interesting role because, as Hugo said, flying units can actually go over the top of these walls. So, in theory, you could just go straight to the enemy if you wanted to. That would not be particularly advisable because... Oh, well, there's the thunder chain I was looking for. As soon as we get over these walls, there's about 1 million guys here. What we can do, though, is use our Seraph to kind of pick off enemies and then retreat back across the wall to kind of decrease the resistance we're going to encounter on the other side once our other units are through. And really, that's the kind of the strength of these flying units anyway. It's just kind of being able to abuse your mobility to poke and prod in all the right places, so to speak. And honestly, if I'd been paying more attention, I probably would have changed my formation to deal with this mission. I would have put 3 Seraphs in the back using Jihad, and 2 in the middle using Banish. And that would have been good for picking off the enemy leader. Turns out, I'm probably not going to kill a whole lot of anything, but I can use a Pedra, so that should do something. Or not. Oh hey, they leveled up, so it's all good anyways. Now, how much damage do I actually take there? Not huge amounts. Be a little bit careful. Stick over to this side. Okay. Let's try this again, shall we? What's the most health? They're all fairly even. Okay. I'm just trying to arrange it so that the low health ones are actually in the back. Did I do that right? Yeah, okay. And go for this, what are they called? Satros? Yeah, okay. Let's take a look at these other units. Golem. Ooh. Golem. Or, those aren't golems at all, those are ogres. Derp. And let's see how this works with a slightly revised formation. Should hopefully be much more effective. The banishes should be able to hit the leader in the back there. And Jihad will hit everything as well as the leader in the back. That's much more effective. Of course, Jihad is not particularly good against enemies in the corners, but in the case of this particular unit, the enemies in the corners were not enemies that we particularly cared about. So it's all good. And we almost killed everything anyways. Unfortunately, Ceres will never get 3 attacks. That was much more effective. And a good example of what I was saying about the ability to play with your formation. Which I should have done before taking on this guy, because it's a single goblin. But whatever. I was just going to retreat, but I figure I might as well finish off this unit before I do that. So that's one less unit that our other guys have to deal with once they get inside. Shield of Nu. So, as you can probably tell by now, I mean, Seraphs are not like ridiculously powerful, but they do definitely have, what are you doing? They have definite strengths in their flexibility that, if exploited properly, can be incredibly useful. Oh, right, I told everyone to go to location, didn't I? Grafenberg. Well, you know, honestly, you would expect more masterclass units by Chapter 4. We're encountering a surprising number of enemy units that are comprised of, like, mid-tier classes. I gotta say, I'm certainly am glad that I gave Magnus back his evil blade. Now, I'm fairly I'm fairly sure that the enemies that are guarding the gate, such as this one, are actually not capable of getting knocked back, because, I mean, there's kind of a wall there. I think they can, like, move around, but basically, once you engage with an enemy that's guarding the gate, you're basically trapped. Even if you try and move away, chances are you're going to basically end up fighting that unit until one of you dies. Oh, champion statue. Okay. Let's see. How does this work again? Does he get, like, a command? Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Do I just have to move close? Okay, so there it says before the castle gate. That should do it. And we will see the result of that once we have killed these fools off with Destin. It's rather unfortunate that the weapon Debonair is stuck with is a physical weapon. Aww. I was looking forward to lots of AoE magic. I had to put Saren to sleep. I hate you. Oh well. 2 damage? You couldn't do 2 extra damage, Debonair? Really? Whatever. Let's use a Pedro. I mean, I guess that wasn't completely useless. I mean, Gilbert... Actually, no, Gilbert won't be doing anything because he's only got 2 attacks. God, Gilbert, why are you so useless? Okay, well, let's just kill them all. Oh, those witches are in the front. Interesting. $80 damage? That's pretty crazy for magic. I mean, well, it's pretty crazy for anything, but that's a lot of magic damage. Down they go. Level up! That was awkward. I don't know why I did that. Kusanagi. That's useless. But anyways, we will just have to take a look at breaching the first row of gates to Fort Romulus next time on Let's Play Ogre Battle 64. Catch you later.